All week, I have been giving you the questions that you need to start asking, because this country is being transformed before our eyes, and the time for silent dissent is over. You get onto your email system, you write letters, you call. I'm talking about demanding answers, something the government should understand, because right now they're demanding that we answer questions through the census. Now, I'm not suggesting that anyone wouldn't answer the census, but it's just a hunch. But I think the questions are a little more important, than when the Acorn representative knocks at your door and says, I'm here for the census. Do you have any flush toilets? Are you kidding me? How much is your monthly mortgage? Are you deaf or blind? Are you? Do you have any difficulty doing errands alone? Yes, I'm having difficulty doing errands, mostly because I'm spending my time fighting for my country. Did you work at all last week for pay? Yes, I did, but my sweatshop has fabulous dental coverage and a sweet 401k. Thanks for dropping by. Here, you know what? I have an idea, Mr. Acorn volunteer for the census. When it's census time, I tell you what, I'll fill it out as the Constitution requires, which says that, how many people live in this house. And then I'm going to take a list of my own with some questions, you know what I mean? And I'm going to staple it back to the census, and then I'm going to give it back. Okay? So for every question that the President of the United States decides to answer on my list, I'll trade him one for his list. If he gives me a satisfactory answer about why he's surrounding himself with admitted radicals and admitted communists, I'll let him know how many flush toilets I have. If he tells me how Van Jones, a self-proclaimed communist, became a special advisor to the president, and why we would want a communist to have the ear of the President of the United States, and what kind of jobs a communist could possibly come up and create, I'd be happy to tell them how tough it is for me to do errands. You want to know if I work in a sweatshop? Sure, then answer the questions that we've been asking about the czars all week. And then, maybe then, I'll even stop calling them czars. I can't promise that one. I'm sorry. It is time, America, that we question with boldness. We speak without fear, while basing it all in fact. Walk softly and carry a big stick. That ain't a gun, man. That is the facts. They're not challenging these facts. It is time to change the base in power in Washington, and not from party to party. All these blogs and just weasels who will tell you, oh, you know what? Let me tell you something. Right now. That Glenn Beck, he's just a Republican Party hack. Have you watched this show? We don't need to change it from party to party. We just did that, and it only got worse. And it was pretty bad before. We need to change the power base from the politicians back to us. So you ask these questions. Why do we need a civilian force? Do any of the president's advisors have a criminal record? Why are you grassroots if you're for one thing, but AstroTurf if you're against it? Do the czars have actual power? Who is it that's paying the czars? How much money do they have? How much power do they have? Who do they answer to besides the President of the United States? What do you say we run them through the Senate just to be confirmed, so that way we can call them? Because, see, it's weird. We can't ever call the czars to answer in front of Congress. It's a little loophole that the White House seems to love in the Constitution this time, but they disregard the Constitution other times. Why won't members of Congress read the bills before they vote on them? And do the members of Congress actually know that most of this stuff was written by people in the Apollo Project? By the way, who are the people in the Apollo Alliance? Who are they? They're just time. Let me know if the White House lets us know how many radicals are in the Apollo Alliance. I know there are some credible people there, and I know there's also some big, huge, giant global corporations, but don't worry about those guys. What could happen with global corporations in bed with kind of shady organizations that you don't know much about, that then go meet in the Oval Office of the White House with radicals? What could possibly go wrong? Just let me know, will you, in the control room, when the White House responds to who exactly is part of the Apollo Alliance, especially the part with, the Weather Underground guy. Gosh, what are the odds that Barack Obama was just on the board with William Ayers. He barely even knew him. Okay, all right, he was over his house for a fundraiser, but he didn't even know him. That's crazy talk. Bloody, bloody, bloody. What are the odds? I've never even met one member of the Weather Underground. Have you? He's not only met two, he's kind of worked with both of them. I mean, not directly. That would be wrong. That's weird. Have they ridden yet? Okay, I tell you what. While we wait, we'll go to the next segment, which is all about moving that power base from the politicians back to us. I'll show you exactly how to do it next.